you remember at the beginning of November, that unintentionally rhymed, when Disney had its big old Q4 earnings call and said that everything's great, and since then, stock has been on the way up. They made so many announcements. Hey, we're making this $1 billion purchase into Epic, and we're going to have this big old Disney universe in Fortnite. And then Bob Iger, that is the CEO, Disney's Bob Iger, says the company has turned a corner and is sending the stock higher, saying, okay, cool, when are we going to see this Disney Epic Fortnite crossover come to fruition? And then he came out and said, well, it could be a year or two or longer than that. It'll eventually come out. He also said, made a big investment in Taylor Swift right at the point in time where she was all over the NFL. They were heading into they were heading into the Super Bowl. The playoffs were over. Her name was plastered everywhere. And well, how did that Eras Tour deal ultimately work out? Oh yeah, Disney Plus is still losing subscribers. But Bob Iger did what Bob Iger always does, announce lofty purchases and acquisitions of other people's ideas and artificially inflate the price of the company's stock. And then in a month or two's time, company's back exactly to square one. And that's where we're at right now. Because as you can see, okay, I've got the year to date pulled up on this one, and time of recording, well, you can see spoilers, this is a couple of days ago, but Disney stock not doing all that great until that investors call, and then the next within the next couple of days 110, and then it ended up going even higher than that, and then a little bit of a dip, and here we are at 110.82 right now. Oh my god, it's up at 22% in 2024. Great stuff, great timing. Okay, maybe the corner has been turned and Disney will be saved. Don't look forward to like April or anything like that when the hostile takeover is eventually going to happen. Disney had a rough time even after CEO Bob Iger returned from a brief retirement, but the media veteran said on Wednesday that Disney is finally on the path towards success again. The company surprised investors by announcing that it would grow earnings per share by a whopping 20% this year. And what are we on right now? 20%. Interesting. Keep that in mind. Easily beating Wall Street's analysts' estimates, but it is early. Our strong performance this past quarter demonstrates we have turned the corner and entered a new era for our company. Focused on fortifying ESPN for the future, building streaming into a profitable growth business. Hey, Disney Plus is going to be profitable by the end of the year. See how well that works out. Reinvigorating our film studios by axing the guy who is at the head of the live action department, where you have how many films in development? Fantastic. And turbocharging growth in our parks and experiences. But the company still faces a number of significant headwinds, from its continued losses on streaming to questions about the succession plan. When Iger eventually realizes that he's in his 70s and can't continue to do this forever. Disney reported earnings per share at $1.04 the first fiscal quarter, beating Wall Street estimates by 99 cents. According to FactSet, yes, the earnings per share grew 49% from 70 cents, blah, 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 all this crap. Yes, seeking a comeback because, okay, Wednesday earnings came with a string of additional announcements. Nothing tangible, but a lot of announcements, including Taylor Swift Eras Tour for $73 million, right? Making a streaming debut. Boy, we're a couple of weeks away. Everybody's excited for that one. No buzz on that. Haven't even seen any marketing for this big acquisition. However, Disney continues to lose money on its streaming service business. But hey, guys, it's better because they only lost $216 million. Down from the $1.1 billion they lost the year before. It's fine. Disney has never turned a profit on the division since launching Disney Plus in 2019. Activist investors started pressuring the company to change in recent quarters. And yes, they had a stockholder vote. All of those votes will be tabulated and not messed with at all whatsoever. There's a history of free, fair, and open elections in the United States. Trust us, everything will be fine. The company is trying several things to try to get the streaming out to turn a profit, except for, write stories that people like. But yeah, with all of these announcements, sports streaming, partnership with Fortnite maker, they got Taylor Swift. Oh my god, see, all of those Gen Zs, millennials, and Gen Alpha, they like the video games, they like the Taylor Swift. That artificially boosts the stock price and makes it a perfect time for Bob Iger to sell off a lot of his shares. Oh, wait, what does Bob Iger know that the public obviously doesn't? Now, there's other CEOs that are also doing the same thing. I think Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg for sure, have also been selling off a lot of stock recently. It's interesting for some more conspiratorially minded people, but Bob, what do you know about Disney? Or maybe you've just seen this pattern before. Hell, you orchestrated this pattern before and realized that, oh yeah, I make these announcements and eventually somebody's gonna start asking me, when are any of these gonna bore out fruitful endeavors? Yeah, now would be a great time to just go ahead and mass dump all of my stocks on the market, which Nelson Peltz and Ike Perlmutter, those are the activist investors trying to get on the board to, I don't know, they have this radical idea where Disney gets back to turning a profit, making a mass appealable product. Yeah, very terrible people. Definitely run contrary to the vision that Bob Iger has for the company. But okay, cool. How is Bob going to go ahead and cut them off at the pass? And one of their big complaints, okay, is that if you take a look at the board of directors for Disney, none of them have a stake in the company, okay? And Iger himself, at one point in time, had the biggest stake in the company, at least among the board of directors that's there. And now, can he even say that anymore? Well, let's build up to this. In the midst of all that, okay, the activist takeovers, investor group, blah, 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 hostile takeover, shareholders, and the public at large are wondering if and when Bob Iger has any plans to leave the company, the organization which he has spent most of his professional life with, and is widely associated with. Iger can only say it is a priority to replace him. And the fact that is rapidly dumping Disney stock, even as he claims to be looking towards the future, might hint that he actually has some plans afoot. Bob Iger is one of the single largest individual shareholders of the Walt Disney Company, along with former CFO Christine McCarthy, Disney General Counsel Alan N. Braverman, and the aforementioned Ike Perlmutter. However, records show that over the past 12 months, Iger has sold off 80% of his shares. I'm sorry, what? 80%? 80% of his shares. Although there are not officially verified numbers, as of a year ago, it was reported that the CEO owned approximately 1,030,000 shares of Disney stock. He now owns 204,899 shares. It's a pretty massive sell-off. You don't say. And while Iger is not obligated to explain why he is doing so with his own assets, it does in fact raise some eyebrows. Somebody who has, at least he purports to have such faith in the company, is out there dumping 80%. That's huge, man. What does he know? What does he know that other people don't? Because if he was just simply stepping down, I don't know why he'd be getting rid of so much of his stock, okay? Because you can continue to hold on to that. And if you're looking to, make sure that your family's going to be taken care of when you can no longer do so for them, you would hold on to that stock because you have faith in your company. But you getting rid of all of that stock right now at a point in time where the shares are higher than they've been in a while, for the first time in a long time, Disney stock is trending upwards. Is he hip to the idea that people are finally figuring out that he's an excellent architect at card houses, but very little else? Oh, ew. Perhaps it does not mean that Iger is finally preparing to depart the Walt Disney Company again. Perhaps his army of accountants has its own reasons for moving money around. Yeah, even as he promises the company ready to be a financial powerhouse again. But yeah, they're going to have to get much more desperate when it comes to a couple of their endeavors. Well, we're going to be focusing on our parks. Well, we'll have to see over the summer how that ends up boring out. We'll have to wait until 2025 to see if they make any sort of a rebound in the theaters, because they have one big film coming out this year. Oh, they also have Inside Out 2 that's coming from their own internal animation studios, but there was also rumors that they're getting out of one of their biggest, their San Bernardino animation studios, and outsourcing that around the world, setting up something in Vancouver as well. I might do I might do something on that in the future. Otherwise, that's additional homework for you guys if you're so inclined to dig a little bit deeper, but I'll put that on the back burner for a second. Bob will have to make another set of announcements going, hey, we bought into other people's ideas, because at one point in time, it used to be a creative company. This was a market driver. Disney was synonymous with quality within the industry, and now it's one of the biggest and most obvious shell games that you're likely to see in the entertainment industry, and a big harbinger of terrible things for big Hollywood in the near future. Oh well, sucks to suck, I guess. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.